countdown to
LD
this
is
mission.
go for launch.
And with that call out that the LD is go for launch, we are set to launch ESA's Earth Care payload.
You heard the man. Things are moving smoothly as they are now just about 30 seconds away
30
from
seconds.
liftoff of this Falcon 9 rocket. So with everything in good configuration, we're going to go ahead and step back, listening to the final 20 seconds of the count here, and we'll be back with you on the other side of the liftoff
15.
of this second Falcon flight of the day.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff. Go Falcon 9, go Earth Care. Vehicle pitching coverage. Stay ground chamber pressure now.
At T plus 30 seconds and counting, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Slick 4 East carrying the Earth Care satellite. Now, after clearing the tower, we tilted or gimbaled the engines to initiate a roll maneuver, which you may notice in the Stage 1 camera view. This enables the vehicle's antennas.
Telemetry nominal.
This enables the vehicle's antennas to stay in the best position for communicating with the ground. In just a few moments from now, we'll be throttling down the engines in preparation for max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Vehicle supersonic. Max Q.
And there's that call out for max Q. Now, as Falcon 9 accelerates through the thicker lower atmosphere, the air density decreases, and Falcon 9 passes max Q once the air density lowers faster than the increasing speed of the vehicle. So keep an eye on the Stage 1 telemetry on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen to watch for these speed changes through ascent.
And back chill.
Good call out there. And as a reminder, the rocket typically needs to go 17,500 miles per hour horizontally in order to avoid being pulled back down to Earth and get into orbit. Now we've got 6 events coming up happening in rapid succession. This will start with main engine cutoff, or MECO, where we shut down all 9 M1D engines on the first stage. Followed by that will be stage separation, where the first and second stages separate. Third will be the Stage 1 flip, a maneuver to turn the first stage around. Then we'll have the second engine start, or SES1, on the second stage. Fifth will be the first stage boost back burn, a controlled burn that reduces the forward velocity away from the launch pad. And lastly will be fairing separation, where the 2 fairing halves will jettison away from the second stage. And all of these events should happen in just a few moments from now.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
And vac ignition.
Stage 1 boost back burn.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there you heard and maybe even saw those 6 events that happened back to back, which again were MECO, stage separation, Stage 1 flip, second engine start 1, the first stage boost back burn, and fairing separation.
And some great call outs and views now from both the Falcon 9 first and second stages. Seeing both vehicles follow a nominal trajectory according to SpaceX. Also seeing the shorter engine nozzle there on the Merlin vacuum engine, when SpaceX does not require the full power and capability of the upper stage engine, can use the shorter nozzle, which is a key benefit for SpaceX, as it also saves SpaceX some money on manufacturing and production. Merlin or the Falcon 9 second stage will only take about 10 minutes and some change in order to get the EarthCare spacecraft to where it needs to go. Again, heading up to a sun synchronous polar orbit today. Falcon 9 first stage booster is making its way back down towards Vandenberg. The entry burn is coming up in just under a minute now, or just about a minute, at T plus 6 minutes and 19 seconds. Looking up into the inner stage on the Falcon 9 first stage on the left-hand side of your screen. Still getting some great views of the second stage Merlin vacuum engine. The reason they're toggling from one side to another is to ensure to the engineers that they are getting even burning on that Merlin vacuum engine. So they will move back and forth from one side of the Falcon 9 second stage to the other, excuse me, just to make sure that things are consistent. That entry burn is about a few seconds away from beginning on that first stage. You hear the call out, and we see it on your screen. That entry burn now underway. This burn will last just about 20 seconds or so. Setting up for the landing burn, but you can see the speedometer on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen beginning to, or continuing, I should say, to drop rapidly as the booster makes its way back down towards landing zone 4. With the entry burn shut down, the next milestone we're looking for coming up in just about 30 seconds is the start of that landing burn, which comes up at T plus 7 minutes and 30 seconds. First stage landing comes up about 15 seconds after the landing burn begins. Looks like we've got a little bit of soot covering up that first stage onboard camera, obscuring things just a hair, but you can still see those hypersonic grid fins. Landing burn looks like it's getting underway now. And you see there a good landing of that booster 1081 back at LZ4. Burn on the second stage continues to last. That will wrap up in just a few seconds here. This will be SECO 1. This is the only burn that will happen prior to spacecraft separation. The vacuum engine has now shut down. Got a call out for a nominal orbital insertion. Coming up now, we're anticipating the EarthCare satellite to deploy T plus 10 minutes and 42 seconds. And we're getting some great views of that EarthCare spacecraft and back now on the shorter engine nozzle. So just because we got the booster landing, don't go away just yet. We've got the deployment of the spacecraft coming up in just about a minute or so. Again, this is a fairly short mission, so you'll see the full thing in under 15 minutes. Again, spacecraft separation coming up at T plus 10 minutes and 42 seconds. So we're now less than a minute away from spacecraft separation. Once the spacecraft has separated, again, there is about a 6-month commissioning phase in order to check out the spacecraft. Of course, first it will deploy its solar panel, which you saw in some renderings earlier on in the broadcast. It will power up its batteries, begin to establish communication with some of the ground stations. Excuse me, I believe that process starts about 5 hours after the spacecraft is deployed. And there it goes. EarthCare, now flying free, preparing to study the clouds and aerosols around our globe to help us better understand our climate.